The topic I picked was air monitoring strategy. What is the air monitoring strategy? The air monitoring strategy is an aid for students for themselves to detect and correct errors in their written work to improve their final product. Air monitoring strategy. There's some steps to the strategy. Number one is to use the COPS method: capitalization, overall appearance, organization, punctuation, spelling. Second is to proofread their written work and look for errors. 3 is to make a rough draft of their work. The student should skip every other line to make the corrections easier for them to do. Step 5, check for organizational errors. Step 6, check sentence by sentence for capitalization and punctuation. Step 5 is where the student rewrites a rough draft with all the corrections. How to teach the error monitoring strategy. Step 1, do a pretest with the student to see what errors they pick up. Also, maybe have a dictionary present for any spelling words. Step 2, describe how the student can be helped by the error monitoring strategy. Show examples how it can help them, and you're looking for the student to have buy-in to the strategy. Step 3, model how the error monitoring strategy works. For example, let students ask questions at that point after you model the error monitoring strategy by maybe using an example. How to teach the error monitoring strategy. Step 4 would be verbal. Have the students tell you each step of the method and have them say it back to you. Maybe you have the steps on the board. Step 5, have a controlled practice. There are assignment sheets I saw in this manual that I looked in for Kansas University, where they had control worksheets where you could look for errors and use the COPS method and help them practice looking for errors. Step 6 would be a grade level practice for whatever grade level they're in. So maybe they're in a higher level class, but their grade level is lower. You would use the lower level practice in that case. Step 7, did the students reach their goal? Did they use the method to review their writing? How did they do? Step 8, show the students how they can use this strategy in other classes, not just certain ones. What are the benefits of error monitoring strategy? It showcases the value of proofreading their written work, which I think is key. Lets the students see their mistakes and take more time with the written work. Helps the students on ways to avoid future errors, and then also have a set process to review written work. Error monitoring strategy in special education, the big key would be slowing them down on what they wrote, using the COPS method to reinforce errors, correcting errors, and reinforcing sentence structure, having the students more involved in the work, and using controlled practices worksheets to help them pick out errors and that can be used for what their grade level ability the student has. The purpose, there was some studies that were done for error monitoring strategy. The first study was the effects of instruction in error monitoring strategy on students with learning problems to see if they correct their errors on their own and other written work. The study looked at the student's skills in capitalization, overall appearance, punctuation, and spelling. The students were given teacher-generated written passes containing 20 errors, about 5 of each 4 error types. The baseline was an average of 31% of students could pick out the errors. After 7.5 hours of training in the error method strategy, the students could pick out 97% of the errors. The studies showed that students with learning disabilities can benefit from the error monitoring strategy. The instruction time was not too long, and the study did do this in small groups, which I think helped also. Another study was conducted a full year in a resource room with 7 high schoolers with learning disabilities taught by a special education teacher. The teacher worked on English and social study assignments, so the students saw the assignments were generalized. They were taught the writing strategy, the paragraph strategy, and last, the error monitoring strategy. The students made an average of 2.7 errors per word, about 1 error every 3 words in their written assignments during the baseline, and an average of 0.04 errors, about 1 every 20 words after instruction. Also, the GPA for the students increased from 2.1 to 2.7 in English and social studies. The learning disability students could use the error monitoring strategy in a resource room and also use it for other classes with success. The error monitoring strategy conclusion. In my opinion, the error monitoring strategy take-home message is students can learn and progress on their own with reviewing. Of course, they need help from the teachers or aides when they do that to reinforce all the correct methods, but they're taking an active part in their learning. The control worksheets can also highlight the COPS method for writing and help them correct errors. The error monitoring strategy does not take that long to teach, but must be practiced to get the strategy to work with students. Thank you.